Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in as always, and thanks ever so much for your ongoing support. Likes, comments, subscribes, discussions, hints, tips and tricks, all massively appreciated. Right, total break from the norm today. So what we're doing is long-term durability review of the IK Foam Pro 2 Plus. So I've checked through my Amazon orders and I ordered this 2 years and 4 months ago, and I noticed the other day, just about the time when it was at maximum pressure, when the little blow off valve was about to there was starting to show a little bit of lift around the lid, and when you got the little spray of moisture out of the blow off valve, there was also a little spray of moisture around the top where, let's see if we can get this in shot, where this moulding here meets the top moulding. There's just a small amount of lift. Now I could probably prise that off. Maybe I could warm it, compress it, because it starts to show a little gap. Then I could probably get a screwdriver underneath and then start to prise it off with some heat, etc, etc, try not to break it, and then glue it. But no, I wasn't going to do that. So we have a replacement here, which we'll look at the end of the video, so you'll have to stick around for that. And I thought, you know what, I'll keep the nozzle tip, the pump, not the pump obviously, because that's part of the handle, the lower canister, etc, etc, as spares, and also the threaded pump valve part, and the straw and the little filter, and also the pickup tip. Essential. You can have those for spares, that'll be handy. And also, you know, I can keep, especially when I'm making videos, I can put some, I need to write on here, this is the donor spare, but I can write on here and then just use this to store chemicals, etc, etc. Anyway, so I've had it 2 years, 4 months. It's done really, really well, in my personal opinion. I use it almost every single weekend, so 2 years, 4 months, I'm good with that. Pump mechanism still working fine, the trigger mechanism still working fine, the lock switch fine, not getting clogged, still fanning nicely, everything working as it should. Anyway, so I have put through it touchless, built Hamber touchless, built Hamber auto foam, auto bright direct just wheels, very good in this. I've used Infinity Wax Incinerate in this with a small quantity of Halford's Advanced Snow Foam. I've tried Chemical Guy's upholstery cleaner or fabric cleaner, produces nice foam in this as well. I've tried the Auto Glim Polar Kit delivered through this, both the shampoo and the Polar Blast, and I'll put clips in of all those. I think it's quite interesting really. I was going through, I probably should do this more often, but I've got probably three and a half years worth of footage. So sometimes when you're looking at a review, it's quite interesting to see all those different use cases stacked up together. Oh yeah, Surfex HD for engine bay cleaning. So I'll put clips in of all of those so you can see them. And would I recommend it? Yeah, wholeheartedly. It has been great. There hadn't been any signs of it giving up. It's just that the top has started to separate, as mentioned. Pump mechanism still fine. IK sprayer, this is the Multi Pro 2, also still going strong. Wonderful. This is filled with citrus at the moment. And one thing worth mentioning, I'd always been relatively conscientious in terms of cleaning it out, rinsing the straw, etc, etc, but maybe sometimes, you know how it is, if I've done 2 videos and then spend an hour on the Mac putting it on, uploading it, etc, etc, and then an hour putting away, that's 5, 6, maybe 7 o'clock, and by then I just want to get the cars away and it's beer time. And I have on occasion left product in, so moving forward with my new sprayer I won't be doing that. Anyway, I'll stick them clips on so you can have a look at some of the use cases for the IK foamer and how good it is, and then we'll get stuck straight into having a look at what I've got to replace it. Incinerate, and 5% Halford's snow foam. Nice level of liveliness. Quite good actually, because you could just get straight in with that and start scrubbing. So we have got 1 part decon to 10 parts water in here, and that is 50 ml of decon, 500 ml of water. We'll go tyres, product. So have a quick blat over the wheel. So that's done a nice job. Very, very good. And this is mixed 1 part Green Star to 20 parts water. It comes out nice and lively. Quite impressive really. Quite impressive. So, the replacement. Someone did say in the comments on one of my recent videos where I said, oh, the IK's nearly, well, it's leaking. And he'd said, my friend had said, oh, what are you going to try next? Well, you can all see together. Let's make sure that we're in shot. And hopefully this will come as no surprise whatsoever. But that's what's replacing the IK Foam Pro 2 Plus. Just lose that bag and try not to rustle too much. So, reason being, the reason we're going with this again is because I have IK 360s, the minis, which I really, really enjoy. I've got the IK TR 1.5 litre spray bottles, which I also really enjoy, and I'd made a mention to my partner and my daughter, you know, for Father's Day, Christmas Day, birthdays, etc, etc. If anyone wants to buy me little gifts, IK 360 minis or IK TRs, and I'd like to have everything organised in them. Obviously I've also got the IK sprayer, still functioning fine, and I've got spare parts for the IK Foam Pro 2 Plus, so if anything goes wrong, I can use them on this. Also, I had bought a 6-pack of these, which is the 360 sprayer for the IK TR 1.5 litre. So the 360 sprayer for the Mini is just a tiny bit shorter, so it won't quite reach the bottom of the spray bottle. However, the TR 1.5 litre is absolutely perfamundo. And one thing I will mention is that, let's just pull the camera back and hold that box so it doesn't get blown away. One thing to mention, I did somewhat extensive tests on converting the IK to, I'm just going to move that camera, I want to lean on the glass. I don't want anything to encourage any further door card degradation. Yeah, so as much as I did tests with using the 360 to convert, You can put the 360 sprayer into the 360 pickup. You can put the 360 pickup, my apologies, into the multi-sprayer, and then it will spray upright, minus 90 or 90, upside down, 90 or minus 90, and upright. And it works the same throughout the entire cycle, which is wonderful. However, with the foamer, it will only do, with the 360 pickup installed, it'll only do upright, 90, 90 the other way. As soon as you go to 95 or 95 that way, it stops producing foam. I don't know why. It will still pick up, the pickup drops down, it's still picking up the product, it's still releasing the product, but it doesn't come out as foam anymore. It only does foam at 90 or 90. Annoying, but still gives you that benefit. You could still easily, if your car was on rally ramps or jacks, you can get up and do Surfx HD, etc., with it that way, which is a winner in my opinion. Also, worth mentioning, while we've got a donor to play with, we'll just pop this off here. It's probably been off way more times than I care to mention. So when you pull the straw out from the IK foamer, leaving the pickup tip in there, you just insert this into here. Okay, now I had discussions with a friend of mine saying, oh, it doesn't feel very tight, etc. So what I did when I was testing is I put this exact assembly in the product, in the canister, the pickup, and then shook it around like a madman, and no matter what I did, it wouldn't make that fall off. However, one option is, if you're going to sacrifice your existing straw, what you can do is just snip an inch off and then put the hose, jam your nice soft 360 hose over the top like so, and that is tight as you like. And then obviously with your new shortened bit, stick that in there and it's exactly the same as OEM, just as tight as OEM, except you have the 360 pickup installed. And obviously I fully appreciate you may not want to cut your straw, so there's two things. One, don't cut it and deal with it, because it will stay in just about tight enough. Or option two, do cut it. They're your choices. Obviously now I have a spare. If anyone wants an off cut of my straw, let me know and I will send it. Right then, so let's do a little unboxing. This isn't endorsed by IK, obviously. You get instructions. By the way, I've done extensive reviews and videos of these before and did a myriad of tests with the various different pickup tips. From memory, it comes installed with the intermediate foam pickup, and then you have a green one which produces a dry foam, which is what I always install, and then it has an orange one which produces a wet foam, which I never use. And I know I've made mistakes in this area before, and the pickup tip is in there. On the end of the straw you can see that grey pickup tip. That is the pickup tip. So if you need to change to the wet one or the dry one, that is the element that you change. Just pops off with hand pressure, nice and easy, job done. What else do you get? You get the normal car valve that you just unscrew this Allen bolt, Allen headed nut, Allen headed screw. Undo that, replace it with lovely brass car type inflator. I'll be doing that. You get replacement filters. I have never used any. I've never changed them ever. And then you get a green or red indicator handle to go on here. Obviously green for alkaline and red for acid, I believe. And similarly, I never install them. When I watched reviews initially, people said, oh, you can put your spares in there and then put the bottom on. Well, that is true if you want the world's most frustrating location. For two things, it will rattle all the time you're using it, and then when you want it, you need to go and find a screwdriver to prise the end bit off, so I never bother installing it. Anyway, so that is that. Obviously, I'll do the 360 conversion. Why not? It makes it a little bit more usable for up inside wheel arches, putting Surfx HD on underneath the car, etc, etc, especially for me on rally ramps, limited space, sideways, happy days, all good. It has a locking mechanism, brilliant, works brilliantly. Trigger mechanism's really nice, really, for what it is. Just a wonderful product. I mean, I'd struggle to find any negatives about it. I know people say, oh, you have to pump them too much. Look, standard thing, when you look at the quantity, if you put 1.5 litres in, you will get 20 pumps and the blow-off valve will go off, and then you'll get 12 seconds of squirt. However, if you fill it to 1 litre or below, so you've got almost equal product and equal air gap, you'll get 40-45 pumps, and then 30-40 seconds of even constant delivery at the same pressure. Really good. I've never had any issues with it. And as much as I say that I'll be installing the pump, I just do it by hand. Why not? You get a little bit of exercise walking around, a little bit of exercise cleaning the car, and a little bit of, arm workout, pumping. Anything else to mention? Let's see. The little foam felt tip is in there. There's the housing, then a rubber washer, and then the actual foam tip itself, the purple part, and then that part. Also, I believe, if you unscrew from further down the neck, that is also replaceable. Easy. Oh yeah, negatives. So the only negative I know is that we're on, as you know, like a shingle drive, and sometimes stones find their way in and they're a pain in the bum to get out. I've yet to have to go to find needle nose pliers to do it, but you know the thing, you've been shaking it for 8 minutes trying to get it out, saying to yourself, right, it must have got in there somehow, how's it coming out? Yet it will not. It's very, very frustrating, and 2 of them are sitting on the floor there now as we speak. Anyway, so, not an out-and-out endorsement for me, but just a wonderful product. I wouldn't be without it. Specifically, wheel shampoo. For wheel shampoo, it is wonderful. And I think moving forward, I might resist the temptation to put anything super, super strong in it, and I'll use the sprayer for citrusy type stuff, and I'll use that for alloy wheel shampoo, just because it's nice to get into, to provide that overall lubrication for doing the wheels, and it's just a nice, easy process. Probably weak Surfx as well. You can't go wrong with that. I say that. I've got a plan where I've been meaning to do the old standard VRS mat restoration project. So that's going to get probably Surfx, and then Polestar, and then Chemical Guys upholstery cleaner, delivered using this, just to get a nice deep clean without absolutely soaking the item. And people have asked in the comments before, just to mention, I have at the moment the adjustable spray, so it's like normal mist or stream. People have mentioned in the comments before they like the triangle sort of fan one. I have no preference either way. I spotted these. I try and keep all my little nozzle tips in one place for hoses, unions, joints, pickups, Karcher spares, all that sort of stuff, all in one spot. So heaven forbid, should I be declined access to water, I mean, you know, the hose union breaking or anything like that, I know where my spares are and tips for these, etc., and the felts, all that kind of gubbins. So yeah, I just swapped it up for me, for variation, for my own personal amusement and satisfaction. Anyway, like I say, it's not a out and out recommendation for these, but you know, I've been on it for ages. 2 years, 4 months off my last one. It has had everything through it, from weak to seriously strong. I've left stuff in it overnight. It's never lost pressure overnight. It's never failed. It's never let me down. And like I say, just starting to show a little crack at the top. So it was time for a replacement, and this is what I've gone for. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that one. I've been really looking forward to doing that. I don't know why. Pulling together the old footage, it was kinda remotely satisfying. Who knew? Anyway, hope you enjoyed that one as always. Thank you for tuning in as always. If you're enjoying the content, please consider watching another one of my videos. That would be the best thing that you can do for the channel. Anyway, take very, very good care of yourselves. See you again soon. Bye-bye.